Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another video here. Welcome to the first video of Bus Simulator 18. This is a brand new kind of a job simulator. Unlike Fern Bus, I know a lot of people may get this confused. Well, we've already got, this bus sim that was done off these guys, and this on Steam, and then you got this game, it's on Steam, and you've got Fern Bus, and it's really good. Fern Bus is more of a coach sim, so especially for those maybe in the American state side here, maybe equate Fern Bus to more of like a Greyhound or an Amtrak type, where you're just going from city to city, rather than taking people in and throughout city through bus stops. More like this is more mass transit bus stops simulator. So, so you are driving a lot of mass transit. Now, this is an imaginative cities. These are not, I don't know if they're necessarily modeled after anything, but they've definitely got a nice flair to these cities. Very beautiful cities, very well modeled. And of course, this is all in the Unreal Engine 4, which is killer. It's kind of known for, I think it's known for one of its beauty sides. A lot of people would say they don't like the dream effect, and they don't like this other things like, Machine World 2 that I did. It kind of had the same flavor. Fern Bus has the very same exact flavor off of this, as well as Fishing Barents Sea all has this almost very dynamic environment, lighting slash wind slash, everything about the engine has a lot of really realistic features when you visually look at them. So, I guess taking that for what it is. Okay, so now let's actually get back to thanking especially Still Alive, and as well as Astragon Entertainment for giving me an opportunity to be able to stream this early. Special shout out and a special salute and thank you to you guys. Appreciate that, and giving me an opportunity to do this. And the other thing is, really, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. If you like this, you want to see a few more videos on Bus Sim. I've already got more than a couple hours into it. I enjoy it. I'm excited to see the new areas, to be able to drive the new buses, if anything, for the challenge. And I'm kind of excitedly waiting on my track IR to get here. It's not here yet. I wanted to have it for these videos, but I was like, I can't wait any longer. I got to get some good stuff up so guys can start checking this out, maybe putting it on your wish list for Steam. So I've got a couple links down there. You'll notice my Discord, as well as anything that you see in my live streams and anything in my setups down there in an Amazon affiliate link. Go ahead and click those two right there. Join up with me here on Discord for just conversation, questions, and hangouts, especially some of our drive sim stuff. And as also, you'll find another Discord link down there at Astragon. So if you have bug reports, if you have suggestions on new materials, if you just want to chat with other Bus Sim 18 guys out there, it's a good one to start out. I've already joined up with them and kind of checking through some of the things in there. So they've also got Fishing Barents Sea, which has been out for a while, but they do have quite a few Bus Sim, and they even have Bus Sim voice rooms. So if you're interested in maybe go checking out some of that, maybe meet some new people that are interested in the game, you might even find you some multiplayer partners. And that's right, I said multiplayer partners, because this game is featuring now multiplayer, which is really, really, really nice. I'm kind of excited to see all of this kind of transpire and take place, because now we have up to a four-person multiplayer, which we will be demonstrating and showcasing here in a latter video. So just know that this game has multiplayer from the start. All right, now let's take a peek through some of these other things. Let's look through not credits, because that's not going to get us anywhere. Yeah, there's your sim stuff. Let's go ahead and load the company. That's what I want to do. Actually, let's do this. Setting-wise, lots of game settings, lots of graphic settings. So depending on what kind of system you're running, you should be good to go on this. So a lot of this graphics-wise, it will support 3 screens, but there is a caveat I'll tell you about once we get into the actual buses. Audio-wise, of course, you got audio control and controls. So if you're a gamepad, if you're a steering wheel user, the one thing I did find is do not have a bunch of steering wheels or like joysticks with axis control. You need to have just a steering wheel and stuff plugged in if at all possible. Okay, so mine works best just having the axis of my steering wheel and pedals plugged in. Everything works perfect. Okay, now this also does support gamepads. Like I said, everything is completely, you can do your own layouts to everything you wanted to, your own sensitivities. There's quite a bit of control settings on this thing, which I'm pleased with. A lot of people don't necessarily put all of this in there into a game, especially when you're just driving a bus. But from the steering wheel's perspective, you can assign every button, everything that you want it to do. So it's kind of cool. You can kind of see how much we got working here. It's quite a lot. So let's go ahead. Let's exit out of this. Let's run over here. Let's take a peek at our company. So we'll go ahead and load it on in here. Now, the other thing too, I guess, in thinking about this, there will be a modern, oh my gosh, there will be a modding community as well, so you'll be able to download mods from the Steam Workshop. As for whether or not they'll be outside of Bus Sim, I don't know. I think modding, I'm not sure modding on 16 if that was a big thing. I did not get into Bus Sim 16 because by the time I found out this was all out there, I decided that I would go ahead and start looking at 18 and kind of wait till this one went around instead of buying 16. So here is your starter bus, and you can customize paint jobs. You can customize wraps, so we'll see what I've got in here. You can do bus colors, and then you can also do decals as well, and we'll have ads and stuff come in later on, but skins, if you want to, you can add. I can see you kind of add some cool looks to the buses. I mean, you know, I don't actually mind that right there. You've got this one, you've got that one. That's pretty. I do like that. Yeah, you got the digital look there. You got the blue and the red. I mean, that's straight up FTG colors right there. We're gonna have to roll with that, man. We got to roll with that right now. Let's apply that to all buses. Cost of $1,000. Sure, why not? There we go. So here's our other one. Is the Cetra. This is the business class edition here. So this is a little bit longer. It's got a little bit more room for passengers. So maybe as you take up bigger routes, this thing will be able to transport more passengers at one time from place to place to place, obviously. Well, let's roll into the shop. Citara is the first one, Mercedes there, Business Cetra. The Lion City A37 Man is next. This is definitely a little bit size up. As you can see, it's the size up in price to it, 270,000 euros, 270,000 pounds. And you just got 3 access doors on it. And same way with the Iveco. Now, the Iveco is definitely a more modern looking, you know, kind of spin on the bus, but it's still got that deep set kind of, you know, it's got a lot more standing room in this one as well. It's not nearly the amount of seating, so you expect this to be one of those where you've got a lot of those handrails on the top and doesn't have all the seating for the transit. So here is your first bendy bus, what they call these. So I'd call this a trailer and a pup. You know, here in the States, we got a little pup trailer in the back. So it's all jointed up, and you got the little accordion style. You see these a lot more, especially over in Europe, than you will see them over here, but it's pretty cool how they operate. I like these. Then you've got the Cetra Biz, which is just a much longer version than we have. You can see it's got the double drive axle in the back. Urban Wheel, the 18 meter one, so I guess at 2 point some odd, this would be somewhere around a 40 some foot. I guess it'd be close to a 40 some foot, 50 some foot bus here. So this is the Iveco Double. This is one of my faves that I'm looking kind of forward to breaking in. I don't know, I like that one and the Man. The Iveco and the Man are my 2 favorite designs. I have not seen the dashboards on these yet, but I can assume they're going to look good. But that's just bad to the bone. Mirrors, big old swoop mirror on the front right, and then you've got that nice mirror there tucked in right by the driver. So yeah, definitely cool. I'm definitely looking forward to those. So you can buy customized to a certain extent. So let's go ahead. I'm going to customize. I don't know why I didn't apply that to all of them. But let's go ahead and let's put that on. Let's go ahead and put our base colors at a red. And let's put this one at a red too. So now we have red and blue. So that is straight up FTG color right there. Nice. So that's even got it as well. Sweet. I actually like that color blue. That's quite nice. All right. So the other thing is employees. So employees you can now hire and fire. Any of the workers that you see come through, they'll have interesting little you know, descriptions on them. It's kind of a fun little peek on that. Now, once you assign these people routes, they will gain up experience, and what they gain up experience, they gain up in rank, which makes you more money, and it also costs you out more salary. Just like any economy-based game, it's just what to expect. That's just the way these things work. But as you get up into the new ones, you can dismiss the other ones to kind of filter out your list. Because maybe the next one that you want to, you know, add on is not another apprentice. You just want to add on another journeyman, because this one will level up and the other journeyman will hopefully not be far behind them. So you're kind of always, wherever you are, that's kind of where you want to, you know, focus on that. Route planners, so actually let's look at statistics. Is basically everything that you've done, your total company values, everything you've done, number of routes, number of passengers picked up, all that kind of stuff, your buses owned, and then also goes through all your income as to what you're earning from other places, ads and event bonuses and all that other stuff. Because as you get further into it, you can actually, you'll have the opportunity to be able to take out ads on the buses. That way you can make a little bit more money as your buses are driving around town. Because the whole the whole object here of Bus Sim is to be able to make this and be able to make to be able to turn this what a brand new kind of bus company kind of coming in. You're kind of coming into this city to revitalize the mass transit. So they're upgrading things, they're giving you access to other things based on your performance as a company, and as you know, as your value, as you complete newer and better things, then they're giving you more access to the city to be able to continue the mass transit. That's the whole idea. So your route planner is kind of where the magic happens for everything. So up here, this little exclamation point, you can see what your current objectives are. Now, this is about our third set of objectives. Any of these can be pinnable so that you can see what it is. So you can pin that off, and once you go through, you can see that it will stay up there, driving around trip mode, or you can just hide it away like this. Now you can create, edit, or you can delete any of these routes. Once they're made, it does not mean that they have to stay there. They are gone if you delete them, and then you can make them right back. Doesn't matter. Or you can change up the routing just to change it up for you. If you're tired of driving this one route in Astor Park, well, they'll go make you another one in the industrial zone, you know? Change it up. Your garages are always up here in Astor Park in the business sector. I think they call this the business spoke. But yeah, so I mean, you know, depending, maybe you want to go take some route in Old Town and get out of Astor Park. Well, go do it. You know, let the computer sit up here in Astor Park, because you'll get tired of driving around in areas at some point. So let's do this. Let's just look here at can we assign? Okay, so we got Mariana in the Citro. She is going to be driving this one on Route 6. So as we start off, this one's already got an assigned bus and a route, so we're good to go there. Don't need to touch that at all, so we'll go ahead and close that down. And then let's look at Stalker Square, because this is a little test one that I did. Just all right turns out of here. Back to South Spoke, East Spoke, the Astor Promenade, and then Greenwich Square. So that sounds pretty good to me. So let's go ahead, let's start this trip. And we're going to start this in the Citroen, because in our second video, you get a chance to see the Mercedes, the Citaro. But everyone's got the Mercedes and start off with YouTubers. So I figured, why not? Let's go ahead and throw the business Citroen in there. Let's do daytime. Quick start's fine. I'll leave that on just to cut down on. I'm turned round trip off and realistic. So let's go ahead and let's start the trip. Let's look at this thing. Let's finally get a chance to take a peek. So a bus stop on the route is undergoing maintenance. Your route has changed. So they'll automatically change it on you. So there's nothing you really need to worry about on that front. So let's look at the bus here. So you can control whether or not these mirrors come up, whether or not your map is up on the third person. You can hide all this if you want to. If you don't want to see it, it does not matter. All the front on the beginning, it changes. So the good thing is all this stuff is, by default, is inside of the game. So now every stop that you put up there, it automatically comes through just like this. So you'll see everything up on your marquee. I've got a couple of different action shots as well. You've got this action, which is basically a top 45, which is great for you know, getting up there next to your bus stop. So let's get back here so you can do stuff like pull the sun shields down. So if you want to, you know, pull that down to right there, say it's right off the suns. Now you can drive with the sun shield, or you can just grab it and move it up out of the way. Passenger mirrors, you can look around at all the passengers, especially if you got some that are either talking too loud or listening to loud music. Consider that a distraction. You see the beautiful reflections off the windows there and stuff on the floor. It's absolutely incredible. And you can also have all the dynamic lighting inside of the cabin. So you've got lighting for yourself. You've got lighting on the ticket machine. This really looks especially good in dark. And then you've got the lights on in the cabin. So passengers always want light on the cabins. You've got park brakes, everything else. You've also got a dynamic dash over here. So whether or not you want to do lights, you can assign these to buttons. Most of them already have buttons already laid out. You got park brakes. You got everything else. Horn, engine toggles. See everything on the rocker switches, ramps. All that works as well. So you do have handicap access. Excuse me. So we'll go ahead and pull out our ramp right there. And then once that thing gets settled, we let the button off, and then we can open two. It'll kneel to the right and open up the door for handicap access. And then close it all back up. And then that's it. So let's go ahead. Let's start her up. here we go. Now, one thing I'll notice, you look how nice the mirror up there looks. The mirror just, I think, looks incredible. Look there, we got handicap access already coming in. Sweet. All right, so what I like to do, this is just me playing the game so far. I like to open up the first door. Let's get the people on. We'll sell tickets, any of that kind of stuff. Then we'll go to the outside here. We'll add the handicap access ramp. So there it is. And then we'll open up that door and shut the first one. Look at that. And it pops right up in there. Close that second door. Fold the ramp in. And we are off to the races. Alright, so now we'll have to wait on traffic. This is very much I guess a realistic part of it. You know, some things you can only do while you're standing still, so you can't, you know, at a certain speed, you can't mess with like the sun shield or anything else, which is kind of nice. You do have switches for every door, so as you get up to the other bigger ones, you know, any of those types of stuff, you can always add in more. They'll add in the more doors for. If you got 5, you'll have 5 switches. So if you want to do all that, or you can assign them to like numlock keys, which is what I did. And I guess...
Where did my hat go?
I don't know where your hat went. It's your job to look out for your own equipment. We're not responsible for any items left, lost. Okay. I'll make it a little too realistic there. Alright, let's see what this bad boy can do. The only thing I'd like to see, probably graphically, would be maybe a few more light stops. I don't know what that does to the traffic itself in general, but I know it would be nice to see a few more traffic lights to not have to yield. But then again, I don't live in Europe, so it may just be how, you know, it may just be how things are. So we'll pull up here.
Yesterday was perfect. Spent the afternoon and then partied all night at the old sawmill. Lucky you. I had to work.
See if anybody needs tickets for bringing in an extra 4. All right, so there's a week. So we'll grab on a week and a regular and a 1. Give him 2 pounds back. He's needing a single student. He's got the exact change. She needs 2-day regulars. All right. I'm giving her 260. So everyone's taking their seats. That cars will, for the most part, they will stop unless they're already past you. Then they will continue on. So it's pretty easy to getting in and out of the bus stops. They're very they're definitely obliged to let you in and out of traffic, which is kind of nice. You get you know, everything else too, whether or not you're running speed bumps, whether or not you hit curbs. Swing if you hit other cars, depending on how hard you hit them, can make a big difference. But you get scored on everything that you do in the sim. So if you, you know, if you pull over, well, looky here. Fast you got. Look at that! That was awesome. That has not happened yet. That was a legitimate reaction. I didn't realize that honking the horn would get him out of the way. Well, that was cool. Alright, that's the little things, right? Alright, so nobody wanted off on that one. We'll let us through. Good deal.
Next stop, Astro Promenade.
Wait, where's my bag?
I refer you to rule number 1. Alright, so Astro Promenade here. Took a right turn up here by the coast. Now, pretty much all of these, you know, I would call these. What would I call these? Yield four-ways, or you know, at any of these places, I always feel like at some point.
The ramp?
Nice. And the handicap master needs a ramp. Go ahead and cruise on in here. At some point, I'd like to see them maybe add some more of those, you know, stops, stoplights, and that would be nice. But I don't know if there's any plans on doing that. All right, just hang on here. I'm going to go ahead and close up this one. Let's get the ramp out. Should have done that first. There's that. So now while he's getting off, there he goes. We'll go ahead and get hers. 1 week student. 1 week student. There he goes. 6.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, nobody else needs one. Everybody's on. So pulling in the ramp now. See the ramp emblem. So everything that you do also has a everything that you do has a whatchamacallit, an icon there on your instrument cluster.
Next stop, Harbor. Distribution Center. Last stop.
All right, so here you go. So this will be our last stop. So after this, we'll pull it into the main area. Now, if you don't like the height, you can also adjust all of this. If you don't like it, if you want to ride higher and look down, you certainly can. It remembers where you were the last time. So if you're all aimed down like this looking at the road, and then you go outside and then come back in, you're still looking down. So I do like the way that it remembers that. That's kind of a nice little thing there. Wow, it has taken us to the distribution center, so you guys are going to get a treat, because I'm not going to re-record this because this is pretty good. So I may fast forward once we get closer to the distribution center there. Go, hitting a speed bump. So speed bumps, potholes, curbing your wheels, any of those types of things, they all do damage to the truck. Therefore, they just they create I guess a negative balance, and so they'll take money away. So if you hit a pothole too fast, then it'll take money away. Or you'll have some type of a damage. The same way with cars, depending on how hard you hit the car determines how much money it costs you to get out of it, basically. Alright, so here we go. So we're going to get a little bit of a ride here. This is good. I kind of like that height there.
See the view down at the harbor.
It seems pretty cool how you really do get a feel like the you know, that mirror's concave. You can see all the passengers up there. That is pretty cool. You also do have your hat switches as well. Have access to different views. So you can assign those to whatever you want. So if you want one to not be this action view and you want it to be something else, you can kind of just boom, 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 just go right through them. You know, so Astra Park, so we're leaving out of the main business area. Now once we get down here to this main, oops, see, we hit a pothole. I didn't dodge it. Just went straight through the middle of it. Alright, so all this right here, so we will use our turn signal, get into the roundabout here, we'll yield in. Everyone's got turn signals on, so we'll go ahead and gas her. I'm also going to turn my left turn signal on to let them know that I'm still going around the bend. And then once we get ready to get to our exit, we will flip that signal off and go the other way. That way people know that we're still going around so they can yield in properly. If you didn't know how to do a roundabout, you're getting a little 101 lesson, driver's ed right here. Let that car know that we're turning. So we should get a yep, there you go. Used our indicators correctly. It's kind of cool. So we'll filter in here and we'll go ahead and step on the gas. We'll let this big dog eat. Now I will be silent on this trip, and you guys can hear the bus shaking and rattling and rolling.
Yesterday I bought some shampoo. Uh-huh. What's that smell?
You probably don't want to know. Let's go ahead. One of us has got to get over one way or the other. So we're going to hop the bridge on over. So y'all, man, y'all were getting a treat. You're getting to see a little bit of everything. See kind of how beautiful this place is and all the stuff you can see. Industrial sector over there. There's a farmland area that's to the south, but we're kind of getting to see the distribution center area. I don't know why we didn't have an exit off to this one instead of having to round about here. That was kind of weird. Engine sounds are pretty good. It's a little quick on the gear change. I feel like it could be a little more relaxed, you know, like a real, almost, I always thought like a charter buses.
Where did my head go?
I don't know where your head went. Sound like a personal problem to me. All right, so we get to go down the industry zone. Very cool. I've not been down here, so this is a treat for me as well. It's changed our routing up and changed us down to the distribution center instead. Now speed limit, listen. And we just rolled through that puddle and you can actually hear it. It's good stuff. I like immersiveness. It's probably one of my favorite things in games. Especially job sims like this, ETS, ATS, any of that stuff, it's all the same to me. Speed bumps, hit them too much. Kaboom, kaboom. You can hear a lot of ambient sounds as well.
Hey, did you see the latest episode of Winter of Passion?
Yes, of course. I never thought Max would do that.
So we're taking the left here.
I think I tried some street food.
Yeah, so this is when this is, oh, we just got caught for speeding. Oh boy. Alright, here we go. Just let all these people off. If anybody left any trash. Alright, so we'll shut this one down. I'm going to show you guys something else here. Turn all of this stuff off. Go ahead and hop out. So you can, you know, hop out if you want to do first person, if you want to run around, if you want to go into first person. Now you can, cool thing is most of all this stuff you can close front doors. You can do all the locking. So when you do go back into the garage, you can lock all this stuff up. You can lock it off from the inside as well. So if you're on duty, come up here, open the front door. And then you can run here to the back. And then you can lock down your individual areas of the door. See, lock your door wing. And this door will not open. Now, as to why you would have that right now, I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I think that's gonna be good for this first video. So you actually got to see a couple of new areas. You got to see a new bus, and especially right off the first look, that's pretty slick. So I think we'll just call it this. Now I've got another one here that I'm planning. We are going to be looking at a few different things. We will be looking at. Let me actually shut this door. There you go. Oh man, cat closes all the sound off. That's so awesome. All right, so as we start looking at some of these things, just keep in mind we'll be looking at multiplayer. We'll be looking at a few other events as well. Now I've got a second video that's already planned. We'll look into a little bit more of the economy and some other things, you know, outside, actually planning a route, actually looking at objectives, looking at anything. So I hope I haven't forgotten anything. I hope this is this video has been somewhat informative, as well as just objectively kind of giving you a roundabout about the roundabout of what Bus Sims 18 is. So I do like the game. I think it's got a lot of potential. There's still some areas where I want to see some stuff, but I also realize too that the devs are not giving me a full and complete release Steam version of this game yet. It's still the beta, still the test one. So there's still some things that will change, even though I'm not getting everyday updates on this. They have not pushed the stuff, and I'm not officially into the beta, but it's more or less for advertising and streaming purposes, recording purposes, to get the word out about this game and see what, you know, especially my community thinks about this game. The cool thing is it is multiplayer. So from my understanding, what I've been reading and some of the things I've been researching is that that you can get out and look through the entire world. If your bus is in a particular place and you go ride with a friend, you can actually ride on that bus with a friend, and you can also see each other passing and driving through the city, you know, raising a hand, the proverbial, giving them the old proverbial hand every now and again as you pass by. So I think it might be kind of cool. You know, so I think of the spin tire-ish kind of way, the way you can load in mods and load into a four-person server, excuse me. So I think that might be good. So anyway, if you like this, if you like the video, if you thought it was halfway entertaining, if you thought it was mostly informative and objective to what I said it was, more of a showcase on just the overall thoughts, and as you can see, Unreal Engine there on that tree is fantastic. So it's really fantastic engine to have with a game like this, and it creates a very beautiful game. So if they can polish out some of the physics of the riding of the truck and have more of this air ride kind of feel, especially with the driver's seat, a few things like that would be very nice to have. But I'm sure as things get going and as they get feedback from other guys, they'll have it. So a couple links down there in the description as we get closing here. Don't forget my Discord, which is at the top link, and right under that you'll find the Discord link to Astragon Entertainment, and those that have Bus Sim 18 chat, bug reports, they have suggestions, screenshots, modding, multiplayer, everything that's in there. They also have a couple of they have 2 or 3 rooms in there, I believe, where you can go in and hang out in one of those rooms, and maybe post in one of those rooms and say, hey, anybody want to come join a server? Let's carry some passengers around. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, guys. I'll be back for another couple of videos. We'll be looking at multiplayer and a little bit more in-depth at route planning and kind of unlocking new areas, that kind of thing. I know the next video we've got a new area to unlock, so that'll be kind of nice to see. And we even got to see a little bit of the industrial zone, so that's even cooler because I have not seen this, and this was all kind of a first deal for me. So thanks, guys, for tuning in and watching, and I guess I'll see y'all in the next video. I would say something really cheesy like, until then, keep carrying passengers, but I really can't because the game's not out yet, and not everybody can do that. So I'll just leave you with goodbye. We'll see you here in the next video, guys. Peace.